It's 7:30 on May 17th, and I will call this the special meeting of the East Helena School Board into session. And the first item under the agenda, which I don't have a copy of the agenda, but I'm assuming the first item of the agenda is hear the public, the opportunity of the public to address the board on non-agenda items. If there's any member of the board that would like, or any member of the public that would like to address the board on such items, they are welcome to do so. Seeing none, we'll go on to the one and only item that we have on our agenda, which is the approval by the board for the Certified Collective Bargaining Unit for the East Helena Education Association. Dan, I'll let you springboard that.
So we've gone through multiple rounds of interest-based bargaining with the EHEA. Had lots of productive conversation and shared ideas, and in the end I think we came up with an agreement that is going to serve us well, treat our teachers like professionals, and provide appropriate compensation. Hey Mark, come on in. The kind of nuts and bolts of it are in the handout that I sent last night, which was written I think mostly by Kate.
And Sarah, yeah.
Yeah, and but summarizes a lot of the discussions that we had. I read through it last night and felt like it was a really good, solid representation, and thought it might be a little easier to read than the entire contract, although then when I scanned it, it scanned sideways, so I tried to open it on your computer. You were sitting with your head cocked trying to read it. I think the biggest substantive changes to the negotiated agreement would be there's a ton of language cleanup, which we worked cooperatively on to try and get prepared for before we even opened our bargaining. And that was, a lot of it was related to the fact that we now have a high school in grades K through 12 instead of K through 8. And just language around that. There was a lot of really outdated language in the agreement that we cleaned up or took out. Things like providing printed copies of the agreement versus posting them on our website and things like that, which are just modernizing the language that's in it. We did a pretty major overhaul of leave language, which provides teachers with one additional day of leave per year and some more flexibility in how they use their leave for personal reasons versus sick leave. And that was I think we spent 3 nights on that. It was a huge topic of discussion. There's a lot of back and forth. There's a lot of concern and uncertainty about the degree of change that's amounting to. And then in the compensation area, we agreed to a 6% pay increase stretched out over 3 years. So that applied 2.5% this first year, so next fall. 2%, and then
1.5.
1.5
to 1.5.
Yeah, thanks. Over the next 3 years. So we have a 3-year agreement in place. I guess the other big topic of discussion was insurance, and that's just a really convoluted and multifaceted discussion. And what we agreed to and what we're going to work towards is working with the insurance committee with some additional membership on it, trying to learn about other options and ways to approach our insurance plan and the way the district provides insurance benefits. And depending on what happens with that, it could be a situation where we do want to reopen negotiations before the contract's open to try and address or change that language. Or it might be something that we decide to wait until 3 years and then address it at that point. In terms of what will affect the entire board, we had a discussion about teacher workload and class load at the middle school and high school levels, and a discussion about language that's in the Chapter 55 standards, capping the total number of students that teachers should see per day at 150 students. And what that means to our district. We have some teachers in the district that are teaching upwards of 175, 180 students on their total caseload. Well, it's stretched over 2 days because of the A-Day, B-Day schedule. And so how we decided to deal with that is through the board's strategic plan, and have discussion at the board level about setting goals in the strategic plan for managing those workloads. And I think the same thing was, or a similar approach was taken on the topic of special ed and workloads for special ed teachers and how to address that. And the long-term solution for both of those issues is staffing and just the need to have either more teachers or more special ed teachers to spread that workload out. And that's not something that we can resolve right now in our current financial environment. And so it's not like we can just go out and hire 5 or 6 more teachers. And so that's, the board saw that as something that was probably going to be more of a long-term approach than something that we could just solve right away. So I don't know, Scott, Marcia, and Mark were our reps on the bargaining committee, and I know I'm kind of doing all the talking, so I don't know if you guys want anything you want to add.
I think you've summarized it very well. Marcia, Mark?
I agree.
I'm amazed, actually, that you were going down the list as I'm reading here, and you don't have a copy of this, so you did well.
No, I want to thank the representatives for participating, and they were all the other members that were there. And I thought it was I think we ended up with a decent contract. And
yeah, I think it's fair to say too, the association met with their membership on Wednesday night and had I guess I'm speaking for you, but a positive reception and a super positive vote in support of the new agreement.
And no votes. No one voted against it, which is awesome.
didn't I think you seemed like you were terribly confident that was going to happen the other day?
To me, it's to get the votes. Like
I
everyone
see.
has to actually vote.
Oh, I see.
No one was going to vote against it. The biggest change in language that I found was I was supposed to be getting certified mail every time there was a board policy change. And you have board policy changes every month, so that would be a lot of certified mail from the school district.
No doubt.
But we changed that.
And fighting you to get your signature.
Yeah. Delivering it to me every
That was
month.
old language, and Kate's like, where's all my certified mail?
Been stacked up in the corner in the central office
Right,
for the last 15 years. So at this point in time, I would entertain a motion from the board to approve the collective bargaining agreement as presented.
So moved.
Have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second from Tristan. Any questions or comments from the board? I'm specifically looking at those individuals that weren't in the room, so if there's anything you guys have, please feel free to.
I feel like if everybody's happy, then mission accomplished.
Typically, nobody's happy, and usually that means that it mission accomplished.
That was my feelings, exactly.
Yes. Hope we get the middle ground.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
everybody
Okay.
gets a little bit of what they wanted.
Yeah.
Any questions, comments from you ladies?
We just are really proud of the work that we all did together, not like both sides, because this was a huge undertaking in what I've heard compared to previous years, maybe the most amount of work that's been done for many years. So we do want to thank you guys for being at that table with us too.
Seeing no other questions, comments, all those in favor of the motion, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed by saying no. Motion carries, and we have a 3-year agreement.
Awesome.
And that will conclude today's special meeting of the Easttown Public Schools. Next meeting is first or second Monday in June, so